Hello YouTube. Welcome back to the RV-14 build. This is Flaps Video 3, and today we're going to be working on additional work on the attach brackets and the nose ribs. They need to be all edge deburred, and there is work to be done with some doubler plates and whatnot. And the mental fun starts where we say, all right, I've got all these pieces that I think there are like 8 nose ribs, and if you noticed in the image, they go sort of like one way, then the other way, then the other way, then the other way across the front of the spar. So orientation matters, and certain ones get drilled, certain ones get attached to the attach brackets. This becomes a mental map of what goes where and how do we make sure that the things that go where we think they go continue to go in those places. So throughout this process, I'm taking quite a bit of time to think about which pieces go where, understand how they're put together, and like what flap they're going to go on, and what role they're going to play in that flap. It's like these two that I just drilled, they both get a nut plate because that's where the a bolt goes through 2 of them, the second one in which I will drill in a minute. The second one doesn't get a nut plate, but that's where the turnbuckle, or whatever it's called, attaches to that piece, and that runs into the fuselage for the actuation of the flaps. So it's like, okay, so we put these ones and we drilled a couple of additional holes for the nut plates. Now these 2 that we're going to do, we're just going to drill them for a bolt to go through instead of a nut plate and a bolt. And again, labeling them all as, okay, this is right flap number, nose rib number 1, it faces inboard. This is right flap nose rib number 2, it faces outboard. Just to be absolutely sure that I'm not messing anything up and or duplicating parts. Because all of these parts can be used, well, initially, before you start drilling them and whatnot, all of the parts can be used for anything that you want them to, as far as the assemblies that they create. So, but once you start match drilling things to one another, or final drilling things to one another, you're creating partners of parts that you don't want to separate later on and accidentally rejoin to a different piece because it's not going to quite fit right. So, excuse me. So this is the initial layout of, this looks like the left flap. Yeah, that'll be the left, and I'll also do the right. So this is another thing that I'm doing is as I'm going through this, I am putting both things together, both flaps together, in order to make sure that I don't use parts from the other flap in one flap. It sounds kind of silly, but like there's just a lot of making sure things are correctly done and not mixed up. Now, I could have done this like one flap at a time and only do like one part at a time, but the way my brain works, I think that I might have more of a chance of messing up the second one, like by doing the first one's instructions again by accident. So instead, I decided to do everything at once and just take a couple of minutes in between steps to say, all right, this is going to go here, that's going to go there. Once you get one of them assembled and can set it aside, it makes the next one easier. So we'll be doing that pretty soon here. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next time.